Hello Twin Flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Let's jump straight into the reading. This is going to be a classic read, so we'll be taking a look at Divine Feminine Collective Energy, Divine Masculine, and the energy of the connection at this time. I'm starting with an oracle deck. I'm pulling the card for each of the twins, and then at the end we'll get some messages between the twins. If you're interested in a deeper dive into the Divine Masculine energies, what's going on right now, I recorded a more dedicated reading for that yesterday, so check that out. And it's gonna be relevant at least up till the Saturn goes direct and the eclipse, but we're kind of in pre-eclipse energy already. Eclipse, just a reminder, is happening on Tuesday, and Saturn is going direct on the 22nd, which I think is Saturday. So I'll definitely be doing more specific readings for that. We'll also have Venus Star, an important event, and yeah, for the eclipse I'll probably do a reading somewhere on Sunday, so that you have a couple of days before the peak of eclipse to get yourself set up, whatever it is you're manifesting, whatever it is your intentions are, because eclipses are major breakpoints or portals, even if you wish, for the massive transformations. And this is going to be the start of this eclipse portal, the solar eclipse on Tuesday, and then 2 weeks after that we have a lunar eclipse. And during this time a lot of things are going to be happening, let's just put it that way. So Divine Feminines, you have the Observer card. I'm going to read it from the book. Actually, I haven't been using this deck a lot lately, just trying some new decks, so I want to make sure that I don't miss anything important. Most people see the world through a personal lens. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, the people, the culture, and environment you are engaged with right now. Where was I? Yes. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. Yes, and I'm hearing immediately that the eclipse will definitely turn some heads and open some eyes. So yeah, getting the perspective really. And by the way, speaking of transformations, this is number 49, that comes down to 13, which is the energy of transformation. In numerology, that's the number of transformation. What do we have for Divine Masculines? By the way, if anyone's interested in me doing a live reading at some point where you can ask me questions in the chat, let me know. I'm considering that, but I'll do that if I have enough interest, otherwise it just doesn't make sense. I will be doing some sales on, or some kind of raffle idea of personal readings, so stay tuned. There will be some conditions, so yeah, I'll share some information towards maybe like in a week from now, maybe in 2 weeks from now, towards the end of October anyway. Deep Knowing, number 43. Wow, I love this. Divine Masculines are getting Deep Knowing. Go figure. Intuition is the faculty that allows you to enter into the dialogue with Source, the consciousness that you are a part of but cannot see with the naked eye. It's perplexing that people are taught to ignore this natural capacity to navigate their journeys, to access their inner guidance. Yes, and we talk about that for masculines even more. And I actually was talking about it even yesterday in the reading. Know that you have the ability to read between the lines and find all the truth that was missing when the story was told. This deep knowing allows you open the door to wisdom, for greater than what it far greater than what is available in the illumination of human experience. You are given information that may make no sense whatsoever to the logical mind of five senses, but which is 100% correct and true. The trick is to listen and then to act accordingly. You are now invited into the sacred dialogue of deep knowing, so tune in and trust your vibes. They will be right. Ask and you will receive answers from unusual sources. Lovely. And it also has like it's two planets here, but you know, you can use your imagination to imagine that this is, you know, somewhere there is a star and there is a moon and there is the earth. So it's close to that, and it has stars anyway, so close to astrology to me. And again, to me, it's a subtle nudge towards the eclipse energy. Okay, let's get the cards, the tarot cards for the divine feminine energy at this time. What's happening in the divine feminine world? And remember, I'm being reminded that this year, I mean, October, November, December is kind of breakthrough transformational time for spiritual growth and for twin flames specifically in general. This year, another flavor of it is Chiron in Aries. And Chiron in Aries means that it's pushing us towards self-healing and towards self-definition, right? Who am I? What am I happy about? What am I unhappy about? How do I want to change things, right? It's a lot of self-exploration. So don't be surprised, because when we talk about twin flames, a lot of times people see it mostly about getting together with another person in some shape or form, right? And of course, I'm sure you know that that's just the very tip of the iceberg of it. But anyway, if you're looking for some insights about your connection, about the relationship with your twin, don't be surprised that the revelations you're going to get in this eclipse season is still going to be about yourself, about your own journey, maybe about your childhood memories, because that will bring you to the experiences and to the trauma that you need to heal. And we don't like to hear that. We don't like to put in effort into that. That's not fun. That's not pleasant. But it's super important to use this momentum that we have now. You will be rewarded 10 times. And B, as much as it seems like it's very much personal space, it will definitely benefit your connection with your twin in a major way. Because your twin is your reflection. They can only show up for you in the energy that you show up for them, and just in general in the world, right? So the more you are healed and the more you're balanced in your own right, the better communication you will get with your twin. Or for some of you, if you're in separation, you will not have anxiety or fear or heartache about that. And that's how it's supposed to be. They're not supposed to be in pain and suffering, like how could they do that to me? Why are they not taking my calls, right? It's not supposed to be like that. Like if you are in that position, definitely big opportunity for healing. And this time is golden for that. If you don't know where to start, this is again your opportunity to ask questions, to ask for a sign, connect with your guides, with the source, connect with me for a private reading if you wish, or a coaching session, right? But use this momentum. Chiron stays in Aries until December 23rd. So we have a couple of months left of where you can really use them for I would say, for like a crash course in healing and even in recognizing your triggers. Because some of them will take longer than 2 months to heal, and that's also okay. But as soon as you recognize them and you start taking steps towards the healing process and recovery and releasing those negative experiences, those emotions, that's the main thing, right? Making progress. So yeah, for feminines we have Queen of Cups and Knight of Wands. It's funny. There's also a child here with Queen of Cups. Usually we don't have children in this card. It's interesting. What do we have for divine masculines? Seven of Pentacles. Yay, shopping. shopping around to me. I'm hearing. Oh, it's funny. Okay, what do we have for the connection at this time? What do we need to know about twin flame connection? And I see the unpleasant face on the shopper's face. Unpleasant expression. It's like you can really see divine masculines like hating shopping, but knowing that they need to do it. Queen of Wands and Seven of Wands. Okay, bottom of the deck, the Chariot. Yes, it's about movement forward. Both twins, I'm getting the message, are going to be pushed towards making progress at this time. Please clarify Queen of Cups and Knight of Wands. Six of Cups. Please clarify Seven of Pentacles. Ooh, actually that's too much. Let me try again. What do we need to know about this energy? Four of Pentacles and Five of Swords. Yeah, definitely makes sense. Please clarify Seven of Wands and Queen of Wands. Knight of Cups. Date night. And Five of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so there is this sadness of leaving something behind that is still, and we've been talking about it, I think, for a good month now, but it seems like there's still that sort of, it's not even a regret about something that didn't happen, it's more about not wanting to let go of something that you're used to, not wanting to leave your comfort zone, because I'm getting this vibe where, and me as a Taurus, like, it's totally my natural vibe. If I've worked on something for a while, I've invested, I've been with that something or someone for a long time, it seems like kind of a waste of that energy if you are just walking away from it, right? You're like, nope, time to move on. It's like, what? Why did I spend all that effort and time and maybe even money into it? Just to walk away? That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem like a smart investment, Pentacles, thinking Pentacles. But energetically, it's still the right thing to do. And moreover, in that specific story, it was definitely worth the investment, because that scenario was supposed to play out and to teach me a specific lesson, to give me certain information that I wouldn't get otherwise. So it was worth it anyway. And it's important to kind of reconcile it in your head so that you let go of this Five of Cups energy. That, well, I could have done better. Why didn't I see it sooner? Or, oh my God, I've spent 3 years of my life on this relationship and now I'm just walking away. It was nothing. However it resonated for you. So feminines, yeah, so there's definitely the connection on your mind, the twin flame connection. And what I'm getting is the divine feminine, just Queen of Cups here. He's seeing the masculine as a Knight of Wands. And in this case, I don't sense as much of a sexual energy. It's just usually this is like a player energy, sexual attraction, all that stuff. I'm seeing it more as someone kind of emotional and someone not emotional, but yeah, driven by emotion. Why not? By passion, but in a kind of instant way, like, ooh, yes, I'm inspired to do this and I'm just gonna fly off and do it without much consideration, right? So it's good in nature, but it's not balanced. And the feminines now see right now kind of the connection to where it has its roots from, right? To where there may be some misalignment, because this is definitely not really an aligned couple here, right? The feminine is looking pretty good. She's like, yeah, I got it. I have my emotional intelligence, I have my family here, my values, my emotional balance. I'm doing well. Divine masculines, not so much. Even if you look at this card and the kind of the body language, it's showing some confusion and just wanting to keep moving forward, but it's like a impulsive move. Yeah, there you go. But the difference is that the feminines now see certain connections with the past. Maybe they learned something about DM's childhood, or maybe, and that's actually also very relevant, it's the understanding from their own experience of how or why DMs might be acting a certain way, or making certain decisions. That's actually one of the ways that twins can really understand each other, like for real, truly. Step into each other's shoes and understand how that other person could have made this decision. Because we are so synchronized energetically, and that relates to having very synchronized experiences in life, even if they look the same differently, they're the same. That makes it very much synchronized for us in terms of how do we feel that energy, right? Where we are emotionally when certain situations come up. I know that from my own experience. I hope that made sense, because sometimes I'm seeing my DM acting silly. Like, yeah, that's kind of juvenile. Like, really? But then I'm like, well, you know what? I probably would have said the same thing if I were in the same situation. Or at least I could have said that a few years back, right? Maybe now I'm like all this like cool and, mature and grounded person, but I understand where it's coming from. And I used to say and do exactly the same, right? It's just that we may not be, we may not be on the same page at the same moment in time, because time is kind of relative anyway. But we still would understand, even if we are on different steps of the ladder, we still would understand each other, because we are kind of climbing the same ladder in certain meaning of the word. So we know what the other person has been through and why they're doing what they're doing, even if we don't necessarily agree with it as an opposing party, right? Or as somebody else. For the masculines, we have Seven of Pentacles with Four of Pentacles and Five of Swords. So there is certain holdback on the... there is certain dilemma that DMs are considering in terms of their finances and next steps. And they are being asked to make some investments and to, well, it can be quite literal to shop, right? To buy stuff that is kind of pricey. It can be other kinds of investment. I don't know. Maybe changing something in their lifestyle or moving somewhere, right? It's some sort of big decision that they are uncomfortable with. They are holding back because they're afraid that it's something that will expose their vulnerable sides in some way. And yeah, you may ask, what does that have to do with shopping? Like, if you are shopping because you've suddenly decided to change your style in clothing, for example, right? It will present you differently, as a public profile, right? And people will be asking questions, they will be making comments, you will be taken differently, right? And that may be scary, or that may mean that you'll be expected to do XYZ that you maybe aren't used to do it, right? So yeah, there is some headache that's divine masculines are getting there, and they kind of want it, but they're taking their time. They're not ready to take the leap yet. We actually had that in the reading yesterday too. This general energy that DMs know what's the right way forward. They're almost ready to jump. Almost. Hashtag almost there. Speaking of which, so Seven of Wands and Queen of Wands for the connection energy, clarified by Knight of Cups. Yeah, so again, there's certain... What I'm getting in general is that both twins are pretty busy with getting rid of certain obstacles in their life and kind of like going through the weeds. Like, we are weeding through our garden, for example, like getting rid of the weeds so that we can see the beauty of our garden actually, and the weeds are not hurting, the good plants that we planted there on purpose, right? They're not taking the good ingredients from the soil, etc., right? Like it's a healthy routine procedure that is needed, and that's what twins are doing, kind of going through their inventory, through their life. They're being pinpointed to certain aspects of their life that they need clearing. Some things need clearing so that the other things can bloom and be beautiful. Okay, messages between the twins. Messages from DMs to DFs, first of all. Okay, we have you make my heart full and I dream about you a lot, too much. That's beautiful. I'm actually just gonna leave it there. No comments required, I think. From divine feminines to divine masculines. I still don't have all the answers and I sometimes wonder if you care. Yes, so you just got your answer, divine feminines. They do care a lot, a lot, a lot. And even thinking maybe too much. It's like an obsession right now. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all, and I will be back with more readings very, very soon.